Hello, 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 hello. I was sorry I'm late. I was supposed to start a little bit earlier than this. Just this little one's doing bits. She's stressed in before the deadline, just like I am. I've been changing this team. So for those of you that watched the Fantasy Football Scout on Monday, you'll notice that this team will be a lot different, and even different compared to uh, the video that I did yesterday or the day before, because you can see I'm wearing a Spurs shirt. I've gone big here, and it is Kane and Son. So I'm going to explain some of the reasons as to why this is the current setup that I've got and the changes I've made since those other videos. So let me try to find just the clips of the videos from the channel, just that show you the wildcard that I had. So I'll put this on the screen now. So the wildcard that I did have, so I'm going to stand up and do this. You can see it's Romero, Rudiger, James, Trent, White, Willock, Ramsey, Salah, Son, Coutinho, Jimenez, Broja, Lacazette with Schmeichel and Dubravka as my two goalkeepers. That was the video that I did last to explain. So this video was a couple of days ago. This was after the Fantasy Football Scout video that I did. So my thinking behind the goalkeepers at the time, I said, you know, Dubravka will do double-double, and then Schmeichel from game week 30 because Leicester's going to make up a bunch of games. But the 31 fixture wasn't great. You can see I've still got James and Rudiger in there. White's I've got Arsenal Spurs in there, but I changed that. But it's no Kane, and it's more balanced. You know, I've got Lacazette, Broja, and Jimenez up front. Willock in there. What are you doing? And that's how my team was looking. And it is different to the triple Chelsea that I did at the start. Hold on, I'll have to go and give it to Mum in a minute. So it's different. And I'm going to explain all the reasons why. First, I'm going to say hello. I think, that's why. That's why. There we go. It's because she wants to sleep. So let me catch up with the chat. Hey, Chris. Hey, Dan. How you doing, guys? Chill. Absolutely, Leonardo. Welcome, buddy. Hey, Matt. Welcome back. And how's people going? No captain on James. All right, so I'll go through the chat first. Denver, 800k, bad season. Now just playing for fun. Wildcard, no free hit, left bench boost 29. Yeah, look, the gap between high, close to 1 million, and then getting towards 100k is pretty close. You could real jump up with Denver. If you're going to have some fun, go for some real wild left wing picks, and you'll either finish, 100k or whatever, or you'll finish 2 million. It does 800k is just no man's land, right? So I don't think you need to worry too much about that. Gone for free hit captain in Lukaku. Can't recommend that. Looking forward to seeing that Kane and Son double up. Me too, because I'm risking it. I'll explain the changes that I've made and why I've made them, okay? Hey, Matt, welcome back. We got the same backline, except Dubravka and Salah versus my goalkeepers. Again, I'll explain all of this in a second. Is Kane worth the risk? Look, I've had Kane, guys. You know I had Kane. If you watch any of the videos or follow any of my tweets, you know I had Kane for like 5-6 game weeks, and he blanked like every single time. But the way it is in FPL, you can't keep that mentality of, oh, I'm never going to have him in my team again because he's rubbish. Yeah, he's been inconsistent, but Spurs' fixtures, Spurs and Arsenal fixtures for the end of the season, and Wolves for most of it, are so good that I know Kane hasn't had a great season, but in the last month or so, he's looked so much better. And the fixtures that Spurs have got coming in, the games they've got to make up, just seems like he's worth it. And here's my other point, and why I don't have Jimenez and Lacazette is, I've said for pretty much the whole season now, I have absolutely zero belief in any forward. Now, Kane is so much more expensive than all the other forwards. But I don't have any faith. I've got some faith in Kane because I know he's got that world-class ability somewhere in his locker whenever he needs it. But the rest of them, even Raul Jimenez wasn't rested. He was rotated. A lot of Wolves fans are saying he deserved to get dropped. And he did. Lacazette, do I want Lacazette? Do I think Lacazette is the player that's going to lead my line? No. I don't want any forwards, but if I'm going to have one, Kane's the one that I do have some belief in his long-term quality, pairing with a cheap striker, and then put my money in my defence and in my midfield. So that's my reason on Kane and Son. A lot of people are not having Son on their wild card. They're just having Kane. I'm the opposite. I am Son over Kane. But if I can get Kane in there with Son, I think that's a fantastic double up. You'd rather put the money into Kane than Jimenez, like I said. Exactly what I just said. Want a Chelsea pump for your third to re-hit, hence the Lukaku captain. Good to see you again, Chill. Chill, is that you, Luke? I don't know why I feel like it's Luke. Because some of the one-time dudes have changed the name. Kilman and Cody or Sice. Kilman and Cody, because here's another thing, Joe. Some of the Wolves fans have said that Sice does have the best attacking threat. However, if they change those back three centre-backs, for like Willy Bolly, for example, Sice would probably be the first one out. So it's like Cody's first choice, Kilman's second, and third choice is actually Sice. So you should start Hwang over Trent. I had thought about that. Oh, I knew it was Luke. Yeah, I had thought about that, but they're at home, and he's a bit of a shield pick. I don't think Hwang plays 2 games. And again, I'll go on to the reasoning why I've dropped Jimenez. And part of that is to do with Wolves. Wolves' defensive stats are poor. Like, they've not kept many clean sheets, but I know that they're up there for goals conceded. And I said this on the Scout stream, and I said this on my video. I think Wolves have been overestimated because in the last 6 games, they've conceded only 2 less shots in the box than Leeds. When it comes to shots and attempts conceded, Wolves are bad. They're like the 4th worst team in the Premier League. When it comes to having chances, they're also one of the worst in the league. So when I thought I'm paying 7.5 million for Jimenez, who plays for one of the worst attacks. Now, Crystal Palace and Watford, on the other hand, in the last 6 games for shots in the box and attempts conceded, are actually 2 of the stronger teams in the division. So why am I paying 7.5 million for Raul Jimenez, who's just got rotated, who plays for one of the poorest attacking sides against 2 pretty decent defences? Not tempted by Vardy, don't have the money. I'd have to get rid of Kane. Not going to captain double it, no. Salah protects my rank, and I think West Ham have looked so laggy recently that Salah, I think, could score 2 goals against West Ham, for example. But if Reece James goes and bangs, Reece James is 10%, 15% owned? 12.7% owned Reece James, right? So if he goes ahead and bangs, that's a huge differential anyway. So I don't have to captain him to get the rewards for that. But if I don't captain Salah, he works against my team. And if he goes crazy against West Ham and scores a hat-trick, my rank just is going to plummet. Why have I ditched... Okay, good. All right, thanks, Leonard. So I'll start at the back. Why have I ditched Dubravka and Schmeichel instead of Ramsdale and Foster? Really simple. It's math. Now, Dubravka... double blank. So he's going to play 4 games in 28, 29, and 30. So's Ramsdale. Ramsdale is going to play 1 in 28, 2 in 29, and 1 in 30. So he's going to play 4 games. And so is Dubravka. But Dubravka blanks. So why not Schmeichel? Schmeichel will come in, but Schmeichel has... single game week, single game week, single game week. Game week 31, when I would be looking to play him, he's got Manchester United. So I don't have... whereas Ramsdale's got Crystal Palace. So Schmeichel still is penciled in to come into my team. What's going to happen after... So here's another reason why I've changed it to this team. This team right now, guys, has 9 players for game week 30. And I need 0 transfers. I don't have to touch this team. I can make a luxury transfer. I'm still thinking I'm going to bench boost next week. It's a possibility. Just so it's out of the way. And then I can take my 3rd sub and make it to like a 3.9 million defender, or take Hwang and put it down to a 4.4 million striker. And I don't have to worry about my bench again. I'll just need like 1 or 2 bench players instead of 3 and save the money. So I don't have to make any transfers. I get to game week 30. I've still got 9 players. After 30, Ramsdale goes to Schmeichel, which gives me 0.3 in the bank. So that means I take Rafinha or I take Saka and I take it to a 6.8 million Maddison and I bring in 2 Leicester players. But I'll do that probably in game week 32 after the Manchester United game. So that's why I ditched Dubravka and Schmeichel. I don't need Schmeichel till game week 32. And I don't have any transfers to make. So I can make those transfers after game week 30. And Ramsdale plays the same amount of games as Dubravka does. So I don't lose anything by Ramsdale. Hwang to Richards, yeah. So a bench boost next week. So that'll be Kilman and Hwang. But also, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go Ramsdale to Gordon. Or I'm going to bring in maybe another double game week player. So I'll go Ramsdale to Gordon at Everton. And I'll bench boost Hwang, Kilman, and Broja, the Southampton striker against Watford, and then I'm done with the bench boost. Don't you think Ramsdale and Dubravka is the better duo? I could afford it. So yeah, I've got James and Rudiger. I am still tempted to go James and Alonso because with James back, Chelsea are less likely to go to 4 at the back. So I think he plays. Well, Alonso and James, but just James and Rudiger, they're your 2 most nailed players. I could do Thiago Silva instead of Rudiger. I had Thiago Silva in and use that money elsewhere. But honestly, guys, I've tweaked this team so much. Hold on, I'm going to sit down now because you're asleep. I've tweaked this team so much, guys, that every which way you can imagine, I've moved the money around. I've moved all the money anywhere. Hey, Shani, how you doing, buddy? And the extra 0.3 million or whatever by tinkering and putting him in here and this guy's going to be this game week. It's not worth it. It's not ended up being something of that I should actually do. So I haven't. So defense, I've still got double Chelsea. Why not triple Chelsea? Because originally I was going to free hit in game week 30. I don't need to now. I've got 9 players. I don't think I need 11. And I'll use that free hit either for a blank that I really need. So let's say Liverpool, Chelsea, a bunch of my players blank. Or I'll save it for a double game week and I'll bring it the big double, which is either 33 or 36, and go full on 11. The team value is 104 million on the dot. But I do have, 104 million exactly. So Kilman, I why not White? Because even though I think Wolves' defense is overrated and I could have White doubling next game week, that is a move I could make because, like I said, I've got 0 moves I have to make. Got none. I don't have to make any move. So I could next week do Kilman to White, or I could do Ramsey to Gordon, because I just don't need. I just feel as though Wolves could get a clean sheet this week, whereas White has got Leicester and Arsenal. So I was just gonna stick with Kilman for now. But next game, because like I said, I've got no transfers to make except after game week 30, where I'm gonna do Schmeichel and Maddison in for Ramsdale and Rafinha and or Saka. So yeah, that's my plan at the minute. That's my defense. So even though I think Wolves' defense is overrated. I think Salah, the goalkeeper, has helped him out a bunch. I still think these 2 fixtures at home are real good fixtures for Wolves. So going to my midfield, Rafinha is my new player in. Even though Leeds have been poor, and even though we have no real idea what the manager's going to do, just feel like I could have Willock in there, which I did. I could have Martinelli. I could have an Arsenal player, but for 6.5 million, he's got Leicester Villa, and then he's got Norwich. And then he plays in game week 30, and then I can sell him after that. Rafinha, Leeds are poor, but he is a quality player, so I just can't. I just think he's worth that money for that position. I could do Kulusevski, do Davis to White, and have triple Spurs, but I just don't think Kulusevski's exactly 100% nailed. Salah captain because he's class. Ramsey's in there for a double who can go to Gordon, just a cheap player, but he plays 90 minutes. I rate Ramsey. I think he's doing really well for Villa now. And then Kane and Brozier up front and Hwang on the bench. I think Hwang does play quite a lot for Wolves, but not enough just enough for him to be on my bench till game week 30. Hopefully he plays in game week 30 or gets some minutes for me on game week 30, and then I don't need him anymore. So yeah, that's the reasoning behind the team I've got now. So Jimenez and Lacazette basically against Kane and Brozier. I'm just going to go for Kane and Brozier with Hwang as a cheap, hopefully playing backup option at times, because I just don't have faith in the attackers. Okay, let me catch up. Ward-Prowse, Prudence, Salah, pick 2 out of the 3. Ward-Prowse and Salah. For 1 week, you'd go Kevin, Salah, and GWP. Best midfielder under 7.3. Unfortunately, not good enough for the Magician. Already have Saka and Rafinha. I'd say Coutinho for 1 week only. But if it's long term, it'll be more difficult. Coutinho, Mount, or Havertz on a 1 week punt. Yes, Coutinho on a 1 week punt I think is fine. I think the double up with Ramsey is okay as well. But Mount maybe plays 2. Havertz, not for me. Still undecided on Jota could switch to Mount this week or Havertz. I would probably go for Mount, if I'm honest. I'd be going Mount. I think Jota plays though, because Firmino's out. But you just don't know who's going to play. It could be Diaz again. Who knows? That's why I don't touch them. Salah or Raf captain. I've got both of them and I'm going Salah. I explained earlier it's about protecting rank, but also I think Salah could do damage. I've said as well before, we get blinded by double game weeks at times. Salah is the top scoring player by a mile. He's way ahead in the Golden Boot. He's against a tired West Ham team who just got beat, 3-1 away to not a fully strong Southampton side. And they're trying to be the champions again. So I have no problems captaining Mo Salah at all. And if, like I said, if Rafinha does really well or James does really well, they're low enough that it's fine. But if you don't captain Salah and he's 60% owned and he bangs, all of the rest of your team is for nothing because Salah is going to destroy you. Your own player is going to destroy you. Who would I have to put in as your third Chelsea in a free hit? I'd go triple Chelsea defense. I'd go Thiago Silva, James and Alonso if I was free hitting. Or Mendy. No, I'd go James, Alonso and Mendy. I'd put Mendy in there because it's goalkeeper. He's going to play. Tuchel confirmed he's relishing the physical battle against Burnley and will pick his team accordingly. James, Lukaku can take over. All looking good for starts. Hopefully. I mean, Thiago Silva, I think, is nailed. It's just his age. People get worried about how old he is, right? But I think Thiago Silva is easily in Chelsea's best team. If you guys can leave a like or subscribe as well, that'd be great. I never ask. It's usually Shani that asks me to remind everyone, but that'd be really good. If you don't like it, don't hit like. It's completely up to you. Coutinho, Havertz, or Mount for a 1 week. But I think I already said that I'd go Coutinho for 1 week or Mount. You have 3K and choosing amongst Salah, Rafinha, and James for captain. Your heart says Raf, but your head says Salah. What do I say? I say Salah. If you're at 3K and you're pushing, yeah, I've already said, if James does well, you're going to get a rank boost. If Rafinha does well, you're going to get a rank boost. If Salah does well and you don't captain him, he's going to kill you. Why not Ait-Nouri over Kilman and Semedo ruled out for a while? Okay, good. Thanks, Leonardo. I've had this discussion for a long time with myself. The 0.2 million from Kilman to Ait-Nouri isn't worth it. When I've gone on the Fantasy Football Scout members area and I've compared them, it's like 49% in favor of Kilman. So Ait-Nouri's just ahead. But Kilman has played every single game. Ait-Nouri could easily get rotated. Kilman has got 90 minutes. And if he's going to play this week for me, Kilman, and then most weeks he's going to sit on my bench. I want a player sat on my bench who's going to play. Ait-Nouri offers the occasional corner and a little bit of threat, but if you look at his stats, it's not. I'd rather just have a player play 90 minutes and maybe get clean sheets rather than a player that plays 2 out of every 3 and still hasn't really got that attacking potential. And even though Semedo is ruled out, that's true. It's Johnny and Hoover on that right side cleaning up. But on the left side, he's against Marcel. You got 102.5 million team value. You have my original first wildcard. team. Who to swap? Oh, I don't know, Dexter. I mean, you could swap a bunch of players. If you got a free hit, then you're fine. Play it in 30. If you're using the original wildcard from the scout video, but if it's if you've not got a free hit, then I wouldn't play that one. I have 0 in the bank because I've put Thiago Silva to Rudiger, so I've got nothing. But equally, like I said earlier, I don't have to do anything. This team, I don't have to touch it. If I bench boost next week, I can make luxury transfers. I can do Foster 4.1 million to a 3.9 goalkeeper. And I'll do Ramsey down to Gordon for a double game week player. Or I'll do Kilman down to White for a double game week player. So I've got 9 playing in game week 30. I don't have to do anything. You know, touch wood, unless I end up with an injury crisis. There's nothing I can't do anything about that. So, pun intended, 100%. Is Mount playing both this game week? Who knows? Chelsea, no. Rafinha or Son, easily. Oh, for one game week, I say Rafinha, but long term, I'd say Son. McAllister or Bowen? McAllister. The Brighton player, again, for 1 week, I'd go with Bowen. If it's long term, I'd go for Bowen. I know Brighton double next week, but it's not an easy double. Again, don't get blinded by double game weeks. Even now, I've got Saka sat on my bench. I'm just like, Watford away is a really good fixture. Like, if I do Kilman to White now, I could do Kilman to White now, not have a double player, and just and play Saka against Watford and go 3-5-2. But yeah, that's the way it is. Is Hwang nailed? Nope. That's why I sat on my bench, even though he's got a double game week. Kane or Jimenez on a free hit. See, this is the question. This is why I took Jimenez out, because I'm not on a free hit. I'm on a wild card. And if I was free hitting for one single week, I would go Jimenez. But I've taken Jimenez out because this is a wild card, not a free hit. And when I said earlier, Wolves concede too many chances and they don't make too many chances. So yeah. Double Wolves defense or 1 Wolves and 1 Newcastle. If you're not playing a free hit, I wouldn't go double Wolves defense. But if you're not free hitting in 30, double Wolves, because you'll have to make a transfer. Again, don't get upset or blinded by the fact that Newcastle is great. They're double-double, but they don't play in 30. So they've got 4 fixtures in 28, 29, and 30. So have Wolves. They've got 2 in 28, 1 in 29, and 1 in 30. So it's how you're going to play it that way. And also look at the quality of the fixtures. I mean, they're going away to Everton. They're going away to Chelsea next week. Newcastle. This week is fine. But then if you're going to do it this week versus next week, Wolves have the better double game week. Yes, this is a wild card, sad. What about Lucas Moura? No. He's behind Kulusevski in the order. And Bergwijn's getting a look in as well. So no, I wouldn't go Lucas Moura. And I've already had him. I wouldn't go there. No problems, Toby. Hwang and not Jimenez. You're thinking of this. So when I was trying to make some space for the money and improve my players. So when I had Jimenez in there, Kilman was Alt-Nouri. Rudiger was Thiago Silva. And things like that. And for the sake of Raul Jimenez, like 3 of other players were downgraded, and it just didn't feel worth it. So Hwang's in there, but he's just in there as a sub. Hopefully he plays 2 out of every 3 games or whatever, but I don't want to play Hwang. He's in there because for 5.4 million, there's not really a player around that price, under 5.4 million, who can just sit on my bench and maybe play for a decent team. So that's why he's in there. But when I did Raul Jimenez, so if I put Raul back in, it is possible for me to do it because I had Raul Jimenez. It's not. But I put Raul Jimenez in, so I need to make up 2.1 million. Rafinha has to go down to Ryan Fraser at 5.3 million. James has to go down to Thiago Silva Or let's just do Rudiger to Thiago Silva. Makes it a little bit more. And then Kilman has to be Altnori. Altnori. And Ramsey has to go. So I could just do James to Alonso, for example. That would be enough money. But I could do this to Gordon, because Gordon's gonna have a double game week next game week. And I could do that. I've got 0.1 in the middle in the bank. I've still got double Chelsea, which is James and Thiago Silva, which isn't too bad. And now instead of Huang, I've got Raul Jimenez. But that's my point. I've had to downgrade. Like, Thiago Silva, I'm not saying he's downgraded on Rudiger, but Thiago Silva needs to have time off, right? Because he's like 37. And Rudiger, I think, is the most nailed. Silva's in the best 11, but I think he does get rotated out to have some rests. Fraser's going to have to come out in game week 30 because he doesn't play. Aitnori might get rested. And all of this for Raul Jimenez, who literally just got benched in the last game and has not he's got one double-digit haul all season. And again, he's got 2 nice home fixtures. I know if it was 1 week Kane versus, Kane with Everton or Raul Jimenez with Palace and Watford. But like I said earlier, the stats show that Wolves don't create that many opportunities and they concede a lot as well. So they've got a good run of fixtures and I could do it. I just don't think it's worth Rafinha. I don't think it's worth Ramsey. And I don't think it's worth Rudiger. That's why I don't have Raul Jimenez. And I don't think it's worth Kilman, who will sit on my bench, but when he's needed, because James gets rotated out or Rudiger gets rotated out, I've got a 90-minute man. Because if James and Rudiger get rotated out, and that's the one game Altnori gets rotated out, I've got 2 defenders. So I need a 90-minute defender. Or I'm really risking it. That's a good point. You're right. I could, Leonardo. I could do Rudiger to but this is the thing. Rudiger is 100% nailed. Thiago Silva is in the best Chelsea football team, starting 11. But I just think Thiago Silva rests. But you're right. I could do Foster and then I could do Dubravka. But here's another thing. Dubravka is a transfer out waiting to happen, right? Newcastle, Dubravka. Now I could play Dubravka this week. Play Dubravka against Brighton and Southampton, and then I play them both next week. So you're right, I could do this. And then in 2 weeks, luxury transfer, like I said, I don't have to make any. I could do Dubravka to a 3.9 million goalkeeper, and make some more bank. I could do this. That's true. I'm going to leave that there. Thanks, Leonardo. If you guys have a look, so I've said this before, I use livefpl.net. This is what usually people check for the ranks. There might be some transfer planners out there that look more stylish and, but the guy that does it, I think it's called Ragabolly. He does all this effort. A lot of people do it for live ranks, so I just like using it, but I like this because you can see what you're doing every week. And on the side, you can see here, it's your transfer plans. And here are the fixtures. So next game week, my team will look like this. And then the next game week, my team will look like this, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I like it. Would I do Bowen to Rafinha? Yes, I would. Then take... $3.9 million go to Madison. Yeah, I could do that. I'm going to keep this at the minute, Leonardo. This could be a late move that I make. Rudiger to Silva. And but with Christensen out injured, just don't. I think Rudiger plays like the next 3 Premier League games for Chelsea. I think Silva just plays the 2. Not worried about Jimenez even with the double. I wouldn't be worried about Jimenez. I think he walked straight back into 11. I think it was more of like a warning rotation. Not just like, oh, he's tired rotating, but like, you're not playing good enough. But a lot of the Wolves fans are saying like, he's not looked right recently. So, but yeah, Leonardo, I'm going to leave it like this for a minute because you're right. Because next game week, I could do Ramsey down to Gordon or Kilman to White. And I'll end up bench boosting an extra fixture. So I think you're right there, mate. -8 for Salah, Ramsey, Rudiger, Silva, James. Worth it this game week. Depends who you're taking out. Depends who you're taking out, Tanesh. No problem, Sad. Thank you very much. Kane, Ramsey, or Brozier and Son? Oh, Brozier and Son. Brozier and Son. To be fair, Altnori just got rested against West Ham, but you take your point. Kilman is more nailed, assuming they play back 3 for a season keeper. Yeah, and that's what it is, Leonardo. It's a season keeper. It's a player that I'm just going to stick on my bench, and when I need him, I've got a 90-minute defender. Kilman has literally played every minute so far this season. And you don't have to rotate centre-backs like you have to rotate wing-backs, because they don't have to bomb up and down the wing, right? If you drop Jimenez, you can get Rafinha, Willock, Coutinho, Salah, Son, and a spare no. But see, Dexter, when I had Willock, right, Dexter, and I just took him down to Fraser. Because Willock could come out for Bruno Girames, or whatever his name is, the new signing. But I think Fraser is actually more nailed, and he's 5.3. So if you need even more money for 1 or 2 game weeks, I think Fraser over Willock could be a shout. You got Rudy, James, and Trent, last 2 defenders. You got 9.7 left. Can you even get 2 defenders for 9.7 million? 8, 9. Oh, well, Davis and Kilman is who I've got. So I can't not recommend that because that is literally my defense. So, yeah. You could go more expensive. You could go Cody to Kilman. The 0.2 million isn't worth it. But Davis, yeah, I wouldn't go higher than Davis. Unless you want to get an Arsenal defender like Tierney and Kilman. I think you can afford that. That'll be 5.1. 0.7. That'd be 9.7. You could go Tierney and Kilman. You could do that. But Davis and Kilman and save some money. This wildcard is stressing me out. Oh, same. I've had a headache since yesterday. I wish I could show you. I wish there was a way to show you on this website, Live FPL, how many times I've actually used it. Like, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I think Depravia is a really good shout, by the way. And then I'll do Kilman to White and have him as my player that just sits on my bench all season. Or I do Ramsey to Gordon. And I'm more leaning towards Kilman to White because Kilman to White, just because I save 0.1 million and I know he plays 90 minutes, he plays for Arsenal, who's defensively have really great stats. But Ramsey to Gordon might make a bit more sense because if I bring in White, I have triple Arsenal. And in game week 30, if I want to make a move, I can go Ramsey to Martinelli. But against I think it's Villa. So if I bring in White, I've blocked myself because I'll already have 3 Arsenal. But is it worth me bringing in Martinelli for Ramsey when I'm just going to probably transfer him out? And I don't know how nailed Martinelli is. I thought he was really nailed, but people are telling me that I'm not too sure if he is. I'm just going to double check. If I do Ramsey to Schmeichel, Dubravka to Foster. Yeah, okay, good. I can still do... I'm just double checking. I can do Rafinha or Saka to Maddison if I need to. Okay, good. So this would be to Newcastle. And like I've said on my other videos as well, guys, like with a wild card with my team, I can make attacking transfers now. When I originally I had 3 Chelsea, Trent for Liverpool, and Cancelo for City as my defenders. Because with a wildcard for the rest of the season, I just wanted the best, and they are the 3 best defenses. So if you have Arsenal and Spurs in your defense, they have the best fixtures until the end of the season, and they have some of the best defenses. I mean, they're both top 6 sides. I mean, we can joke and say that they're not anymore, but they are still top 6 teams, right? So if you're putting in Wolves players or Newcastle players or things like that, you're looking at you're dropping your quality, and the transfers that are just not going to do much for you. Son and Kane, best fixtures for the rest of the season. I think the upswing now. Son all season has been great. I've got no problems with Jong Son whatsoever. Never have. The name on the back of this shirt is Son. The double up, I think it's a real double kill. And I've said earlier, right at the start of the stream, mate, there's no strikers I want. There is not a single Premier League forward in FPL I want in my side. I've just got Shota Ronaldo. I don't want Antonio. I don't want Dennis. I don't want Morpay. I don't want St. Maximin. I don't want Vardy. I mean, Vardy's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I mean, he's played 90 minutes once since game week 14. So, I mean, he might be one to bring in for Kane. When Leicester hit this run here, when they start to get double, right? Yeah, I might bring him in for Kane. But I'm not going to bring him in right now. He doesn't have a double game week until after game week 30. So Vardy's on my list for Kane. That's true. Pookie, no. Adams, no. Edouard barely plays. Tony, hell no. Jimenez, tempting, but I'd have to downgrade my other players. Watkins, no. King, there's no one I want. Absolutely no one I want in my side. Yeah, thank you. She is cute. Adams looks good, but he's not 1.4 million good. The price of Son and Kane is pretty much that distance between Broja and Adams, and I'm not paying 1.4 million more for Adams, especially when Broja's just come off the bench and got an assist and a goal. Let me make this transfer now before I forget it. I'm gonna play him. See, a lot of this isn't just what I think, guys, but it's you giving your ideas and your teams and me giving my ideas and stuff. And like I said, it's not just me telling you that. So Leonardo made a good point there, something I might have missed. And yeah, I agree. There it is, improving the team. Alonso and Adams versus James and Broja on wildcard. You have Rudiger. James and Broja. James and Broja. Easy. Should you play Mount or Havertz? Mount. You don't want Coutinho? I've had Coutinho, Goofy. I had him. Look, if I go to my points, boom. I've had him for weeks. Go back to game week 26. Oh, that was a free hit. That doesn't count. Boom. There he is. Ta-da. There he is. I've had him for weeks. But I got rid of him because Ramsey's there. And like I said, Rafinha with Leicester and Villa. Coutinho, I did have him, but he's 7.2 million. He's expensive. Kilman or Trent to play, you're stuck here. Does it have to be one of the two? Both. I'm playing. You can see, Luke, I've got both of them, and I'm playing both of them because I can't not. Do you know what I mean? Maybe play Havertz this week and bring in some next week. That would make sense. That's what I mean. I could do so here, right? I said I don't have to make any transfers. This is true. Kane has one match against Everton, right? I could do this right now. I could do goodbye, Kane. Hello, Raul Jimenez. Where is he? Where are you? I could do this. And I can just bring Kane in next week. So I need to weigh up. Is Jimenez against Palace and Watford as good as Kane against Everton? We've got 9 minutes, guys. What do you think? Kane against Everton, and then next week bring in Kane for Jimenez, because I don't have it. But if I do that, I've lost a fixture already, because I already said I could do Ramsey to Gordon or I could do Kilman to White. 'Cause I don't have it. I don't. But if I do that, I've lost a fixture already because I already said I could do Ramsey to Gordon or I could do Kilman to White. 'Cause I don't have it. I don't. But if I do that, I've lost a fixture already because I already said I could do Ramsey to Gordon or I could do Kilman to White. So I'd be losing a double game week player if I do that. So it would be good this week because it would be Jimenez with Palace and Watford. Not worth the transfer. No. Because that's what it is. So next, I would lose a fixture. If I did that, I'd have to bring Kane in next week for his double. And then all my benches, I don't double them. But I could do Kilman to White and have another doubler next week. Or I could do Ramsey to Gordon and have a doubler next week. Rudiger or Antonio Rudiger? Yeah, Joker living up to the name there. Sorry, Rudiger or Thiago Silva? I would go Rudiger. I am Thiago Silva. I am Thiago Silva. I have Thiago just because of Leonardo pointing out I can do Dubravka and get an extra fixture in there. So I would say Rudiger. But if you're really scraping, no. -12 for Sarr, Rafinha, James, Ramsey, or ignore Sarr this week and play Ramsdale. Play Ramsdale. Oh man, that is tough. That is tough. Because you got to remember, right? If you're doing that for -12, you've got to say Sarr must score at least 5 points more than Ramsdale to make it worth it if you're taking a -4 for it. So if Wolves don't keep a clean sheet and Arsenal do, you're down already by like 4 points. Start one, Jimenez, Saka, or Trent. God, Jimenez. But that'll kill you. If Trent does really well and he outscores Jimenez, that's going to kill your rank. Kilman, Reece James, Shaw, or Cody. Target. Kilman, Reece James, and Shaw, or Cody, target, Thiago Silva. The first one. Thiago instead of Rudiger, money, and I still think Thiago Silva plays a lot. You don't know who to bench and captain of your team. De Gea, Trent, Tierney, Lamptey, Rafinha, Mount, Salah. Captain Salah. Bench Son. Benched Son over Lamptey. Who Brighton got? Newcastle. You benched Son over Lamptey. You must really believe in that Brighton clean sheet. I would not bench Heung-min Son over Lamptey. If you play Kilman, you can bench Hwang, Lacazette, and Tierney. Yeah? I mean, you can see I'm benching Saka. I'm benching my Arsenal players. I don't like it. Captain, Coutinho, Salah. Salah. I can't not say Salah. I already said, like, if James does really well, if Rafinha does really well, if Kane or Son do, whoever you've got, if they do really well, you can be happy. You get a nice, beautiful green arrow. It'll be a lovely, sunshiny day outside. It's 13%, right? If you don't captain Salah and does really well, it's just gonna annoy you. It's not gonna be good. So I know it's the safe bet. I know if you want to attack rank, yeah, sure, Captain James. But I just think you're really asking for trouble if you do this. So yeah, I'll be thinking next week Kilman might go to White. We'll see. Happy with the team. Yeah. If you're feeling risky, and I'll always say if you've got that feeling that James is going to go out there, he's going to get 2 clean sheets, he's going to get maybe 1 or 2 assists, or maybe even a goal, he's going to outscore. If you think he's going to outscore Salah, do it. But you've got to be so sure he's going to outscore Salah. Salah is just an equalizer. He's just made captaincy redundant. It's like you captain him, and everyone captains him, and he gives you a tiny green arrow, whatever he does. Or you don't captain him, and if James gets 10 points but Salah gets 11, it's a red arrow because of his rank. Bench order, people. I'm going to stick with Hwang first bench. Ramsdale's sat there. Yeah, let's just have one more tinker, guys. Oh, remember, please, whatever you're doing, finish it now, because this is it. The site will crash. Ramsdale, Trent, Rudy, James, Kilman, Coutinho, Son, Rafinha, Willock, Salah, Borgia, bench, Foster, Hwang, Lacazette. Seems solid. I don't know what that's going to look. I don't have time in my brain to think how that's going to look in a free hit. But if you're going to free hit or not, I don't think you have to with that. I think I'm pretty happy with this team. How many doublers this week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 doublers this week. And I should have 1 or 2 on my bench, plus a bunch of... Yeah, it's fine. You're playing Ramsey over Saka. Yep, same as me. I'm playing Ramsey. Boom, right there. Over Saka. Probably going to regret it. It's going to be one of those where my bench is going to do really well. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't bench boost. If I could bench boost this week, I probably would. Doherty could be a punt next week. I'm not touching... I'm just like with Wolves... At Spurs, you've got Dyer, you've got Davies, you've got Romero. They are your 3 centre-backs for Tottenham Hotspur. If you're going to play wing-back time with Spurs, or even with Wolves, you're going to get rotated on. So have a bench and suck it up when that happens, basically. It's going to happen. So another reason why as well, we're brought the likes of Kane and Sonny. Like, you look at my team here, and when Saka comes in from Ramsey... My team is nailed. Broja, the Southampton striker, he's pretty much the only one who I'd be shocked getting rotated. Like, if Rafinha doesn't play, if Salah doesn't play, if Son doesn't play, if Kane doesn't play, that'd be crazy. Yeah, Saka could easily punish, but when I looked at the stats, Watford aren't actually that bad at conceding chances. Ramsdale or Foster? Oh, I had Ramsdale and Foster, and I was actually playing Ramsdale, but I probably would do Foster now. He's got 2 games. Free hit. Sass, Rudiger. I wouldn't captain Rudiger. Alonso, Salah, Coutinho, Fraser, Rafinha, Havertz, Kane, Adams. Yeah, as a free hit, I think that's fine. I just wouldn't captain Rudiger. I'd just still captain Salah. And I know it's boring, but if Salah goes out there and blanks guys and he's your captain, you'd still be happy with whatever your team does. But if James blanks, or if Son blanks, or whoever, or Rafinha blanks and Salah doesn't, you're just going to get a big red arrow. It's that simple. You should always captain who you think is going to get the highest points, but you don't know who's got the highest points until after it's happened. So I'd just rather go into a game week with like, yep, Salah's my captain. He's really, really good. He's one of the best players, if not the best player in the world right now. I'm going to get points from the rest of my team. He's like the biggest... Captain in Salah is the biggest shield you've got. You can call it a coward's move. You can call it boring or whatever, but whatever Salah does, I'll be thrilled. If he scores a hat-trick, lovely jubbly. I'll get a little green arrow from it. But if he scores a hat-trick and he's not my captain, and I've tried to be fancy, and I've gone captain James, and they've he gets 5 points and Salah gets 15... That's a big red arrow, and I'd rather not play the game like that. I think that's time, guys. I think that's it. It's a weird feeling when I've been staring at it for so long. I'm not going to refresh the page just so we can still see what my team's going to be. In fact, we can go to live FPL now. So the late move that I've made is Dubravka. He is in for Ramsdale. It wasn't White. It was Kilman. I'll probably end up regretting not starting Hwang over maybe Trent or something like that, but I'm just not gonna go there. If he only plays 1 game, or he doesn't, or if he blanks, then that's the way it is. That's the decision I've made. Ramsdale, Trent, Rudy, James, Kilman, Coutinho, Son, Rafa, Willox, bench. Yeah, rate it. I do rate it. I rate it an 8 out of 10, I'd say. So yeah, so going in, all the best, getting late and else. Yeah, take care, buddy. Thanks for the late Dubravka shout. I have gone there. So next game week 29. How's my team gonna set out? I can't remember how much money I had left. It wasn't a lot. Wait for this to load. Our live FPL might crash actually now because everyone's checking it. I just want my team on the transfer planner, please. Yeah, you too, Dexter, buddy. Oh, okay. We can't check it now because it's come up to say they're updating. So I'm not gonna. I can't refresh it. But yeah, the plan is it's gonna be next week. It's either gonna be Kilman to. It's probably gonna be Kilman to White. Because then I'd be bench boosting Dubravka. I'd be bench boosting White, who would be here. I'd be bench boosting Ramsey, which isn't ideal. And I'd be bench boosting Broha against Watford. And then after that, I can sell my third striker. I can make Hwang down to a 4.4 million striker, non-playing, because I don't have a bench boost anymore. And I can put every penny into my starting 11. What is my total points? 1735. I'm 85.5k rank. Hey, cheers, Mr. Jolly. Good to see you, buddy. So that's it, guys. I think that's gonna be it for today. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, future transfers: Kilman to White, bank the transfer in, and then maybe do Ramsey to someone who plays in game week 30, or just rock out with 9 or 10 players. You can't do any swaps now, Karim. It's over. Deadline's passed, buddy. That's it. Captain Coutinho. I love Coutinho, man. I had him. I had him since 7 million, Matt. But I needed to save the money. And long term, Villa's fixtures, you can see after this game week: West Ham, Arsenal, Wolves, Spurs, Liverpool. It's not an easy run for them. You're on a different type of FPL. Oh, okay. Should you swap Coutinho? Yeah, bring Coutinho in. You're on a different app. I mean, it doesn't matter what app you're on. If you're playing official fantasy football, the deadline has passed. There's nothing you can do. All right, guys. So I'm going to leave it there. Hope I explained why teams have changed since the scout video, because that was before the FA Cup results, obviously, when Spurs are out. So now I can have Spurs in my team. And it changed because I was just like, get Kane and Son in there, because Jimenez, Lacazette against Kane and Broha. I think Kane and Broha is just a better pick. And I wanted players from teams I believe in, and I think Wolves have been a little bit lucky, or Sarr in goal has been really well for them. They concede a lot of chances. They don't create a lot of chances. So, yeah, that's it. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining today. Little one. She's been fast asleep for a while now. So, have a good weekend. Good luck this game week. And let's see if this wildcard's going to pay off. Probably going to bench boost. Hopefully the good Spurs turn up. Yeah, that's the only problem. That's the hesitation with Spurs. And that's why I've just gone for the centre-back because of fixtures. But I've gone for Son and Kane and no one else because they're the ones that's the quality. But yeah, Spurs are going to either win a game 4-0 or draw 0-0 or lose 1-0 randomly. Because that's the thing. When everyone's like, oh, Kane against City, he was amazing. He was. And then a couple of days later, he goes and blanks against Burnley. And then he goes and smashes Leeds. So, yeah, it's like, what team's going to turn up at home to Everton? If they've got a low block on Everton, if they low block Spurs, that's the easiest way to kill Spurs. You just low block. Make them break you down because they don't have the creativity to break through. That's why Kulusevski could be an important signing, because he's the one that has that creativity that could break teams down. And he whips the ball into the box to Kane and Son. Could be tasty. Could be tasty. But even with Kulusevski, they lost against Burnley. So who knows? But I still think the way that I've played this, I free hit in 26 for 145 points. And I was only about 10 or 15 points behind the free hitters in game week 27. So unlucky. Bruno and Ronaldo had both of them somehow blanked. They should have double-digit hold. If they banged for me, I'd have been well up. And then you got the people who wildcarded in 26 instead of free hitting, and they don't have triple Spurs, and they don't have any Chelsea because they didn't have games in game week 26. So I still think wildcard 28 is the way to go. I don't think leaving a wildcard till like 35 just so you can bench boost for one game week is the way to go, but that's just my opinion. Just fill with your wildcard, just fill your defense with teams you believe in defensively, and then the rest just nailed. Look at this team, and it's nailed. It's at Broha, in my opinion. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Take care. Good luck. Maybe see you next week with the bench boost and see what I'll do. Take care. Take care, guys. Thank you very much. Leave a like and subscribe as well if you liked it. And I'll catch you later.